Hey everyone, Roger here from Backyard Bee and Garden, and today is going to be hive inspection day of the first swarm and a couple of the splits. We're just going to see how they're doing. We'll see if we have the queen in here. We're going to try to see if we have any eggs and just check the general state of health, because if I have to steal a frame of eggs from another hive, I'm going to want to do that as soon as possible to give them the best chance to survive. Now this is the first swarm that I caught in the 2022 season, and we're going to open them up and see what's going on. You can see a lot of great activity at the front. We're going to start by doing a light smoking. Alright, let's get right to it and open them up. You want to lift the lid and smoke gently underneath and close them up for a second or two. Very curious to see how they're doing. That's a good sign. A lot of bees already on top, and I have to see if I have to add another box to this already. Hopefully she's laying. That's a lot of bees already. Look at that, they're already putting honey. And they've already made some new comb. Always want to check and make sure your queen is not on the top anywhere. I don't see her, but it is nice in here. Look at this. Wow, and they've eaten some of the patty, and they're still actually eating the patty right there. Alright, let's see what we can find. If I can see larvae, I'm going to stop, but there's a lot of bees in here. Start on the end because the queen is usually not on the end comb. She might be, so you always want to still be gentle. But usually the end is for honey. See, they're already filling it with honey. Might be a good year. But I do want to look to see if I can see any larvae. Looks all like honey to me. I don't see any larvae there. Just rest that there. Move into the next one. Lots of cat brood. And there's eggs. There's eggs on that frame right there. So she is in here. This was a successful swarm catch. Awesome, and there's a lot of bees, and she's laying already. So that's it. That's all I really want to do, because I don't need to disturb them more than I have to, because I just like to leave my bees, let them do what they need to do. But there's so many bees in here, I'm going to add a honey super to this. Alright, I'm going to gently put this back in. Alright, so adding a honey super is a great idea if you have a lot of bees, and there's a lot of bees in this swarm, and usually swarms do very good at drawing comb. So I need to put a queen divider down. I'm going to just scrape off. Look at that beautiful honey. Oh my goodness. I got to put that aside. The bees don't eat it. I'm going to have some of that. Man. So this is basically like burr comb. I'm going to remove the burr comb. and I'm going to put my divider down, and I'll put a link to the ones I like. These are nice. It's the wooden ones. I've had it where I don't get as much honey when you have a gap between the hive body and the honey super. So I'm going to be using a full size 10 frame hive body for the honey on this hive. You don't have to use just honey supers. You can use full frames. It just means that it's going to be a little bit heavier. So this is what it's going to look like without the new frames. So I'm going to put actually a lot of frames in here that need to be drawn out, and swarms do a very good job in drawing out honeycomb. Alright, so I got all my frames that I want them to draw out, but this is a 10 frame hive, but I'm not going to put 10 frames in here. I'm actually going to put 8, and let me set them in here, and I have a special adapter that I'm going to show you to space these correctly, and this is a great way to get more honey using less frames and you need less honeycomb. So this makes a 10 frame Langstroth hive into an 8 frame where it's spaced with correct bee space to draw out the comb, and they just make it thicker, which is pretty awesome. I use this in my honey supers as well quite often, and that's the correct spacing. And they're gonna say, hey, I need to draw this comb out, and they're gonna bring it to exactly the spacing they need to set this for 8 instead of 10, and that makes the actual comb thicker, and they fill it up with more honey. It's a good idea to keep an eye on this as they draw it out. This also is going to give them plenty of space to expand. Just have to get everything to stay. Alright, so here's another tip that you can do. So, and actually I'll pull this out because I should be doing this on these anyways. Take some sugar water and splash it on your frames. That will encourage them to come up and clean it and start drawing it out. It's that simple. Just a couple of drops, that's all you need, just to stimulate them. Now when they already have this drawn out, you can reuse this every year and they'll fill it up even faster for you with honey. And this is just 1-to-1 sugar water. Now it is encouraged to feed your hive when you're having them draw out comb. So we'll keep an eye on this and we'll keep you updated on how well they do. There we go, now I just gotta set my spacing again. So I like to give them a pollen patty, and you can see all the great bees up here. There's an easy way to clear these off. You just have to tap them down and they'll fall right in. Go. And that's it for this hive. This swarm was a success, and she is laying. Successful swarm capture, and the queen is laying. So we've added a honey super, and we're ready to go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Backyard Bee and Garden.